Hey guys, Ben here from Melbourne City Chiropractic. So today I want to go through a simple exercise called the posterior pelvic tilt. Now, you could almost regard the posterior pelvic tilt as less an exercise and more just a movement. It's a foundational movement and something that you could integrate into a lot of your other exercise. But the purpose of why I want to bring this up today is it's a really good position of support and brace for your body, and essentially the foundation of building your core strength. So let's go through what that actually looks like. Okay, so let me demonstrate the posterior pelvic tilt. So I'm going to turn side on, and I encourage you to get in front of the mirror and practice this yourself. So what I'm going to do first is an anterior pelvic tilt. This is the opposite to what we're learning, but it helps understand what the posterior pelvic tilt is. So I'm going to arch my back, my lower back, as much as I can. You'll see my butt sticks up in the air when I do that, and it pushes my abdomen forward. Okay, that's an anterior pelvic tilt. A posterior pelvic tilt is the opposite. I'm going to draw my belly button back into my spine, and when I do this, my glutes will switch on. That's a posterior pelvic tilt. Now this is the position we want to train. So let me just show you that again. An anterior pelvic tilt is the position of comparison, and then pull back into a posterior pelvic tilt, and this is the brace position we want to learn. It helps sometimes to do the anterior pelvic tilt first, so you can really understand what the posterior pelvic tilt is. Now also note that the rest of my posture sits very comfortably. I'm not bracing or rigidly holding myself. I can isolate the movement to here and to here, right? So I'm able to breathe and talk very naturally and very easily, and my head and shoulders sit back as they should. Okay, so that's the posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so now we know what the posterior pelvic tilt looks like. How are we going to go about using it? I want you to integrate it into your life as much as you possibly can. Think of it less of an exercise with reps and sets, and more of a, I'm just going to use it in many different positions. For instance, when you're washing up, when you're in the garden, when you're lying on the ground playing with your kids, you go to sit back up again. Perhaps you go to pick up something off the ground. You're sitting at the desk in the office. You're going to pick up your child out of the cot or changing the nappy. You want to purposely try to get used to using that position in as many different variety of positions as you can, because it feels quite different to do it when you're lying down on your back, or you're in a kneeling position, or you're slightly bent over changing a nappy. These are the things that you want to try and learn how to do as much as you possibly can. That's the thing that's going to protect you. So think of it as a support and brace position, and think of it as a core training exercise in all those different places. Okay? Do your best with it. Think of it as a thing that takes weeks to months to develop, and the more you do it, the more you get out of it. Thanks for watching.